Hello and welcome back to day number 5 of the Overcoming Pain and Getting Back to What You Love mini course. So again, I'm Jake with Revive and Thrive Fitness Coaching, and we've been going over what is pain, how do we move with pain, how do we deal with pain, right? So today we're going to be talking about the role of lifestyle and how that affects our pain. So let's get in. So here's what we're going to cover. So there's lifestyle habits that influence our pain and recovery. I refer to a way to combat this as the recovery high five. We're going to start diving into that a little bit. So here we go, right off the bat, the recovery high five. 5 things that are often overlooked when it comes to managing pain. A lot of times we think of, oh, we need ice, ibuprofen, Tylenol. You jump to all those things. You go see the doctor, put braces on it, crutches. You do all these things to manage the pain, avoid the pain. But how do we actually treat the pain? Is that actually treating it, or is that just avoiding it? So a lot of times you got to work on this from the inside out, not from the outside in. It's probably a good way to think about it. So the recovery high five is working more on the inside out to try to make it help. So here we're going to be talking about sleep, hydration, nutrition, mindset, how do we deal with stress in our environment, and then obviously movement. So sleep, all right? I put on here, do more when you do less. Sleep is important. By this point, I think a lot of people have heard, you don't get stronger when you're in the gym. You get stronger when you go to sleep because you're tearing your muscles down at night. Your body's rebuilding itself. That's why you need all that protein and good nutrition, because then your body's going to be rebuilding all those connections that you tore down when you were exercising or while you were competing or while you're doing, fill in the blank. Sleep is super important. That's where we recover. Poor sleep, it increases your nervous system sensitivity. And that's the problem when we have pain. A lot of times our nervous system is elevated. It doesn't take as much to give that trigger of pain in your body. So a light touch all of a sudden feels like a sharp touch or more intense than what it should be. So sleep helps obviously then decrease your nervous system sensitivity. So just some simple goals for that, aim for 7 to 8 hours. Have a good evening routine, try to go to bed at the exact same time or at least close to it. Don't do screens right before bed. There's a lot of research coming out about blue light. Hopefully you've seen something about that. So limit your screen time like an hour before bed. Temperature, that helps you fall asleep. A lot of times cooler temperatures help so you can just kind of snuggle up, if you will, and get a lot more comfortable. And then environment. We're going to talk about this on a future slide, but having a nice, calm, inviting area to sleep will make you sleep more soundly. Hydration. Why is it important? We learned in elementary school that our body is 60, 70% of water. And you can't live more than a handful of days without water. So water is super vital for performing all functions in your body. Your blood, obviously, is mostly water. Your nervous system is going to be, and your brain is going to be affected by water. And so the reason when you get dehydrated, you feel foggy. It's going to boost mental clarity, like we just said. It's going to promote recovery. It's going to help flush out all the parts of your muscles that are being torn down or injury. It's going to help flush all that out. And then it's going to help regulate your appetite. So if you regulate your appetite, you won't be snacking as much. So it helps you stay fuller longer, gives you that sensation. So it's going to help your overall fitness. So guidelines, what do we look for here? A lot of times you always hear, 8 cups of water a day. When I was researching this, one guideline some people say is half your body weight in ounces. Okay. So I weigh about 180. So half of that would be like 90 ounces. Divide that by 8 ounces. Can't do that quickly in my head, but what you're looking for women, about 11 cups a day, men, 15 cups a day. So that sounds like a lot. However, that's what you need per day. As you see in the asterisks there, some of that is going to be coming from your food. Some of it's going to, a lot of our food already obviously has water. We're not eating dried out beef jerky all day. So you're getting water from that as well. So, but in general, whatever your body weight is, cut that in half. And that's how many ounces you should be drinking per day. Things to focus on, obviously water. Water is going to be the best thing you can focus on. If water's too plain for you, you can always get some flavor enhancers. You can put in cucumbers, lemon, things like that. There's a little squirt things you can put in there, which probably isn't terrible for you. But again, just plain water. Teas, would be fine as well. Obviously, things to avoid, things have sugar in it, alcohol, fruit juices. It says it's orange juice, but there's a lot of extra sugar in there. There's some added things in there. Energy drinks, obviously, those are just packed full of stuff that you really don't need. And if you work through the recovery high five, you're going to find you're not even going to need energy drinks. You're going to naturally create that energy on your own. All right, the third thing, nutrition. So I feel like sometimes we got to change our relationship with food and the way we view food, right? Sometimes we view food as a reward. Sometimes we view it as comfort. There's lots of different, maybe we just snack all the time. We review food as, something fun. We're a foodie. We enjoy good food. I feel like we just need to view food as a fuel, right? You don't just go fill your gas tank up and then decide to put more gas in your car by like filling your back seat with gas and your driver's seat with gas and, just cover the whole thing in gas. You fill your tank and that's all you need, right? If you're going off-roading, it may not be bad to have an extra gas tank in case you get stuck, things like that. However, that's planning for an emergency. That's how it would be for food too. If you're going to be going out on a long trip, obviously you want extra food with you. And that's how your body treats it. If you put in extra food, extra things in your body, it's going to pack it on and save it for that emergency. Say it's going to save it for a rainy day. And the way our society is, the rainy day never comes. There's plenty of food out there, okay? So, diet versus nutrition plan. I feel like the word diet has kind of have a negative connotation to it. Usually a diet is, you think of it as like a temporary thing versus a long-term lifestyle. Nutrition plan, more like a lifestyle. You have a plan of what you're trying to do, not a rigid, fixed, here's the only thing I can eat, but a plan that can be flexible and just general guidelines. I think that's a better way to look at food. Junk in versus junk out. It's just like a computer. You program a computer with bad code, it's going to give you bad information out. Use a calculator, put in the wrong numbers, it's going to give you the wrong numbers out. Your body, you put in the bad food, it's going to give you poor performance, poor mental clarity. It's going to break down. It's going to shut down. It's not going to last. But the thing is, you don't see it right away. It's something that comes on months, years, decades later. So calories consumed versus calories used, like we already talked about. If you don't use it, you're going to save it for later. And generally, we never need to use it later because we just fill up with more calories. All those processed sugars can perpetuate inflammation. Now, inflammation is a good thing in the short term. That's how our body naturally heals itself. So you need that process to occur. However, that chronic exposure to refined sugars and processed foods keeps our body just in that heightened state of inflammation, and that's what gunks up your arteries. That's what causes your body to just always feel chronically painful or feel chronically tired. So just watch what we're eating. You can get all kinds of user guides, you can get all kinds of things, but I think that this is all you need to know. Eat whole foods, eat unprocessed foods, eat it as close to the natural state as possible. If you can use that as your main guideline, you're gonna do great. If it's coming from a bag that can sit on the shelf for 2 years, 5 years, it's probably not good for you. I was reading a fun fact book, and it said a hot dog can last up to 20 years in the landfill. Think your body's going to break that down very quickly? I heard someone say, island eating. If it grows or flows from an island, eat it. Obviously, there's going to be some poison things in there, right? So we'll avoid those. But if it's naturally occurring and it's in its whole state, that's going to be better for you. So, okay, practically, what's that mean? You want to prioritize whole and processed foods, like we said. So that could be, fatty fish, lean proteins, whole grains, berries, veggies, leafy greens, things you want to limit, kind of like I already mentioned. Processed foods, refined sugars, trans fats. All those things are just going to keep that body chronically inflamed and in a state of pain. Just some quick, food swap ideas. Simple things. White bread, good for whole grain bread. Instead of sodas, do teas, water with lemon. Instead of fried chicken, grilled. Instead of butter, doing something like olive oil or avocado, more naturally occurring oils. And then dairy, if you have like a dairy sensitivity, maybe get some plant-based alternatives or just in moderation. All right, so that's nutrition. All right, now stress. Who doesn't have a little stress in their life, right? How do we deal with and manage stress? There's all kinds of stress, right? Got acute stress, chronic stress that we're exposed to, episodic, it comes and goes, emotional, physical, environmental, psychological. I'm sure there's some I missed. That's a lot of different things that, and you can all think of multiple things in each category that are affecting you day to day, right? Some of these pictures, you got your family, the kids driving you crazy, your house is a wreck, you're at work, you got everyone pulling it from you from each direction, leading us to just to feel like our brain's in a fog. We're just, how do we deal? So, here's a couple things. Try to reduce our triggers as much as we can. One thing that can be helpful, breathing, just getting a nice reset. We've already talked about that low back breathing where you're trying to get your, core muscles to start engaging in a better way and getting that full expansion through your body. Another one's called box breathing. I think we'll practice that here at the end of this session today. Gratitude, just being mindful, thinking about what you're grateful for. It's hard to be too stressed out and angry when you think about the good things that you're grateful for. And then fill your cup. Do things that you enjoy. It's easy to always be at the beck and call of your kids, your boss, your spouse, your family, your friends, what you think other people want you to do. So sometimes you just got to do what you need to do. Once you take care of yourself and you fill your cup, then you can help everyone else from the overflow of that. And then the recovery high five that we talked about. Make sure we're getting exercise 30 minutes a day if you can. Nutrition, sleep, hydration, mindfulness. It all comes full circle. All right. So environment. Again, this all affects everything, right? Environment's going to affect our stress level. So look around you right now. Like, are you watching this in your office? Are you watching this in your living room? Maybe you're on your bed scrolling this right now. Look around. How cluttered or chaotic is your space? Is it tidy? Is there stuff everywhere? What's it look like? A lot of times, spaces that are chaotic and cluttered increase those stress levels, which is going to make your tension worse, which is going to make your pain worse. Okay. And just be mindful of all the different environments you spend a lot of time in: your home, where you're working, your car, right? Your digital. How stressful is your phone? How many tabs do you have opened? How many things do you have saved? How many apps do you have on there? Maybe we need to declutter all that. Maybe we need to organize all that so you can find exactly what you need when you need it. And it's not just like a constant undone mess. All things to think about. So environment, what is around you, what is around you affects you. So one quick solution, take 10 minutes a day. Organize one area. If you're not an organized person, do this as your challenge. Take 10 minutes, set a little timer. Organize your desk. Put things away, color code it, stack things up, throw away extra papers. Just organize it. You'll be surprised if you have like an organized workspace, how much better those 8 to 10 to 12 hours go when you know where things are and you just feel more put together and not, constantly chaotic and putting out fires as much. Organize one area of your home or workspace. Create a calming, supportive environment. Maybe you decorate a little bit different or add some extra pillows. I'm big into lighting. My wife would just laugh because I love lighting. It kills me when people have those really, really blue, super bright lights. They're very almost like fluorescent lights. When you have those in your home, it drives me nuts. Unless you're in like a workspace where you really need to see detail, then they're great for that. Out in the garage, great for that. If you have those in your living room, or if you have those in your bedroom and you're looking for like a nice, warm, cozy, calming area, that'd be like anything but. Having sound, right? Is it really loud in your environment? Is it calm? Maybe there's music you can play that's like kind of mellow and chill versus, hardcore rock and roll right before bed. Maybe, all things to think about. Having boundaries with your phone, right? Don't let it be doing alerts all the time. Boundaries with your kids. Try to get some separation at night. Get as fun as that can be, right? And we all love a good bedtime routine. But trying to calm the chaos around you as best you can. All right. So I think we're getting towards the end of this. Appreciate you hanging in there with me. In the community that we're putting together on the Revive and Thrive Fitness Club, we're going to dive deeper into all of these areas and, create a community in there of like-minded parents and professionals and just busy people, right? Who we all have things that work for us. We all have crazy things. We can learn from each other. So if this has been helpful, look forward to contributing to the community of, what are your triggers? What are things that you found are a struggle? And then how have you dealt with them? Share it. There's more than one way. These aren't the only ways. There's many, many ways. These are just trying to scratch the surface and get your mind thinking of bring some awareness to what could be keeping you stuck where you are. So today for our movement, we're not going to do like a movement full body screen. We're just going to do that box breathing. Okay. So while you do this, just be mindful of your body, your movement. How are you? What are you doing? Something that might be good for this would be laying down. If you could get completely flat for this or sit up, using your body to help hold you upright and just be aware of what's around you. So I'm going to do mine upright. So laying down like I did some of the other movements. What we're going to do here, just do some box breathing. Kind of like the picture here a little bit. You don't necessarily have to have your hand here and here. Although that could help. You can see how your belly's moving. You can see how your chest is moving. But what we're going to do, box breathing is what it sounds like. We're just kind of breathing around a box. There's lots of different times to it, but I think the easiest one to remember is just do 4, 4, 4, 4, meaning you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, stay empty for 4 seconds, breathe back in. You would just keep going. I encourage you right now, put a little timer on your phone. Do that for 5 minutes. Just close your eyes and just breathe through that. Okay. Obviously, you don't need to move your hand in a little square like I was doing. I was just doing that for more. So you can see when to breathe in, breathe out. But do that 4 seconds in, hold it 4 seconds, breathe out 4 seconds, hold it 4 seconds, then continue. Yeah, I encourage you to do that and see how you feel 5 minutes after that. If you could do that at least once a day, do it anytime you feel a little bit of stress, kids are driving you crazy, try to get yourself in your closet by yourself and do that for 5 minutes. Amazing how refreshed you feel after that. Work and your boss or coworkers driving you crazy, sneak away to the bathroom, do that for 5 minutes, or your car for 5 minutes. Go for a walk, find a quiet spot and breathe for 5 minutes. It can really bring your heart rate down, bring that stress level down. All right, so action steps. We went over a lot. Go back through the slide deck and think about what's a lifestyle habit do you struggle with the most? Is it your environment? Is it sleep? Is it nutrition? Just not eating as good as you could? With the nutrition, give yourself the 80-20 rule. 80% try to be on. 20%, have that snack. Go out to eat with your friends. Have that drink here and there. All that's going to be fine. It's just the excess. And doing that consistently and constantly is going to keep your body in a position you don't want to be in. But is it your environment? What is it that you struggle with the most? And then what's one lifestyle change that you can make today? Maybe it's just being more organized. Organize your desk before you leave work every day. So you come to work the next day to an organized desk. For like me and my wife in our house, we organize every night. We clean down the kitchen. Everything's organized, put away. We pick up toys, blankets, pillows. Everything's kind of put back. So when you wake up, come down in the morning, it's all put together, ready for a brand new day. And that really is a big, big help. What's yours? Share it in the community and let's dive in. Let's, share each other's ideas and see if we can learn from each other, and everyone can pitch in. So this one was a little bit long. We covered a lot. So appreciate you hanging in there. Look forward to sharing day 6 with you. And then after that, there's only one left. So if you made it this far, you're doing great, and looking forward to connecting. Have a good one.